Great to be here. My name is Niels. I am the owner of Shapers, a Dutch LXD, international LXD agency. I'm the author of This is Learning Experience Design, and all of my work revolves around learning experience design. And I thought I'd make the most of these 5 minutes, one slide by grabbing my pencil and creating something to look at. So a lot to talk about. I want to start by talking about the learning professionals here, which is you, the L&D community, the Offbeat community here represented by Lavinia in the bottom left corner. And what you see when you look at the center is a learner, which is great because everything you do is about learning. It's about how people learn, how to improve learning, how to support people in their learning processes. But not only that, you're also learners yourself, which is great because something like Offbeat is really about bringing those different learning professionals together so they can learn from each other. Because we all know that though some principles are universal, the context and the culture will color the way we learn. So it's really important to learn from each other. So when you go to the to education there in the upper left corner, that's a different perspective. The learner becomes a student, and the student also has a teacher, an expert, which creates this kind of tension, as Romy just referred to, the empty vessel that can be filled. And that raises the question, so what is more important here, the teacher or the student? And so what do you kind of design for? So one of the strengths of education is really the long tradition it has. Education and educational systems have improved our world immensely. And that's also its weakness because a long tradition also makes it hard to change. So there's little room for innovation generally within education. So as we shift to the next group, that's where innovation is possible in big tech, here represented by Sam Altman of OpenAI. That's the space to innovate. And when they look at the center, they see a client. For big tech, they see people to make money off of. So, let's be clear about that. They're not here to save the world. Big tech wants to make money off of you in all sorts of ways. So, why I think it's important is that we understand that we can use big tech in effective ways. And I heard some real great examples earlier, but it's really important to think about what it has to offer without ignoring the downsides, the environmental impact, the ethical, the consequences there are. So don't ignore, let's say, the dark side of big tech and use it to your advantage, but in a sensible way, and don't get in too much into a hype. So now we get to the bottom part in the right, where I'm represented. I'm representing the design community. That's where I come from. That's where learning experience design comes from, as where I see myself as an applied artist. Designers take principles from art and they apply them to design something that looks well, looks great, and works well. When I look at the center, I see a person to design for, whether it's a user or a learner, and I want to offer them well-designed products, services, experiences to help them reach their goals. And I do that by designing in an empathic, creative, and human-centered way. And what I really enjoy is creating a bridge between the learning community and the creative community. And that's what I love about the work that Offbeat does, is they are open to those different perspectives where you come together. So that bridge represents where we meet in the middle with learning professionals and design professionals coming together and learning from each other. Because this visual really is about how your perspective gives you your strength, but may also be your weakness, because it always limits you in some way. And your ability to understand how your perspective and your approach can limit you, and your ability to open up to other perspectives, I think can really make a big difference when you incorporate elements from other perspectives, whether it's from education, from tech, from learning, from design. That can really create something bigger where the whole is more than the sum of its parts. So I invite you to open your mind to look in different directions, also outside of these perspectives. So when we design learning, we design for real people, where they are human beings being human. Thank you.